Vaidas, and this is, let's see if we get this right, Adomauskas. Haha, from WoraPay. He's the co-founder, and actually you are, and CEO, you are also an alumni of Startup Bootcamp. It was 2016 or 2015? 2015.
London Startup Bootcamp FinTech cohort.
Excellent. Would you talk to us for the next 15 minutes about the startup mentality in this ecosystem?
Yeah, I'll try.
Thank you.
As I'm a startup, and if you look at the printed agenda, the name of the talk and the person is different. So let's start with that. My colleague had to be here, I am here. But can we stop talking about payments? No, of course, we're a merchant payments conference, right? But I'll challenge you for maybe 10 out of that 15 minutes to stop talking about payments and think from a bit different angle and perspective. Maybe that will be interesting, right? So if you can, let's do that. Yes, I'm from startup environment. This environment is really like corporate style. Everyone is so serious. So I decided to start with 3 stories, 3 known brands, and I'll do like that. I'll start playing a clip, and you will need to tell what company it is about. And once you do that, we'll go to discussion. Okay?
Yep.
Very hard task. So I'm playing. Hopefully it works. What company is it? You all know it. Uber. Perfect. So no more commercials anymore. Go, go, go. Uber. Is Uber a payment company? What do you think? Who uses Uber? Or who has at least once used Uber? Oh, quite a lot. Did you pay once you used Uber experience? Of course, right? Was it mobile payment? We can have a long debate, what is it, right? If you attach the card, is it a mobile payment or not? But was it a tax experience or a payment experience that you felt when you had Uber? Sorry? Tax experience, right? If you look through all that 1-minute video, they won't talk a second about the payment, right? That's what it is. Okay, second company.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a jump start on your favorite jump start? Introducing mobile order and pay.
It's a bit longer. Starbucks, good. Thank you. Look, you're waking us. That's good. That's good. Before lunch. Starbucks and the product order and pay app, right? Anyone use Starbucks order and pay app functionality? Few, way less. It's mainly in UK probably. I don't know if it's already in Germany. You can know it. Simply, Starbucks decided that you don't longer need to go to the queue and wait for your Starbucks coffee. You can, on your app, click the button, say, I want my latte, while I'm still 5 minutes away to the cafe. This order goes to the cafe, so once you're there, it's already ready, right? Again, is it, we can skip the mobile payment part, but is it a getting coffee experience that Starbucks is doing and talking in the, for example, video, or they are talking about how amazing new payment functionality we added to our Starbucks experience? Coffee, right? They're a coffee company. They want to get you the coffee the most easy and convenient way, right? And they don't talk about payment at all as much as they can. Okay, and I promise the last one.
4 years ago, we started to wonder.
Yeah, Amazon. I'm sure this was mentioned quite a few times here, right? This is total retail experience, right? They launched it now publicly. Do we pay on that experience? Yeah, you cannot walk out, right? Is it mobile payment? Again, we can discuss, but again, and even in this video, do they talk about shopping experience or do they talk about payment experience? Shopping, how to make your all walk through the shops as convenient and likable, and then of course walk out so we don't have to get stuck to the cashier or self-service terminal. So where I'm leading to, when we're talking about payments, I don't want to devalue that. All the debates is right and the morning was fine, but sometimes I think we talk too much about new payment methods, how we make it. Yeah, we had pin and chip this transaction, so now we have contactless, so from 5 seconds we went to 2 seconds. Whew, good. Maybe we should be talking more about customer experiences that retailers create and how we can avoid talking in payments without, in those. Of course, meaning that payment will be done because most of retail services or goods needs to be paid, right? Because today, most of payment experiences means waiting. And I don't mean waiting to get the cash back or to put your PIN. transaction itself. I mean, waiting to get to that point of sale terminal, waiting in the line, queuing. We very rarely get somewhere when there is no queue. We go, especially if it's rush hour, it means more people like it. We get to the queue, we buy, I know, H&M jeans. On Saturday morning, you have to stand in a queue to pay for those. You want your morning coffee, you have to stand in a queue for those, right? So today, if you think broadly, payment usually is waiting in retail, not in e-commerce, I mean in retail, right? So if you look at numbers, for example, we work with Lloyds Banking Group. So if you just do a little math, they have about 60,000 employees across all the country in 70 offices, and each of them have cafeteria. If an average getting coffee takes 3 minutes, which is 1.5 minutes in average in the queue, which takes usually longer, half a minute to tell your order and pay for it, and 1 minute to wait for a latte, whatever made, so that's underestimate. And you multiply that, so they spend 10,200 work days a year just to stand in a in the down cafeteria for a coffee. If you divide that for approximately 200 working days, so you have 50 staff in Lloyds that just standing in the queue all the time. Right? And if you look at other reports from money perspective, of course, quite a lot of people just leave when they see queues and don't purchase, okay? So that might be one of the answers why retailers should be looking at this. It's not maybe to decrease the cost of the payment as such, but if we introduce new experiences, maybe there is a way to increase sales or get a much better customer satisfaction, which will lead to increased sales, right? So is there solutions today? Surely there is. For example, if you're in UK, you know, and anyone was in Prague, you know that queues moves hell of the faster. They have worked very nice procedures, they have lots of tills, lots of cashiers, so if it's a rush hour, they move people from the town where they make sandwiches, everyone goes to stand at the till, which means they have lots of manpower to process the rush hour, and then people go back to make sandwiches or soups, what they do. So they have a business model built on that. But it's first very costly, and it's very not scalable in other cases, right? You cannot have a lot of stuff all the time. So what started happening, of course, retailers started automating. Probably you saw these machines already, right? Yeah, McDonald's said, don't go to my cashier, go to that machine, click the buttons, your order will go, you get a number, and then take it. Why? Efficiency, right? So you could improve efficiency. But if it's a rush hour, where do you see queues now? Next to those machines, because there is still a limited number of those machines, right? So it increases a bit, it solves the problem, but not all the time. So how we can solve the waiting to pay problem completely? It could be saved if every mobile phone device, which most of us have, would be that device that we could send the order and get goods what we want. There's a big theme now calling these remote payments. Yeah, I think we focus too much on contactless, how to make that purchase at the retailer with the machine. But can we make new experiences where we don't need to go physically at the cashier to give money or touch the card? And if you think broadly, of course, we can start with very simple solutions like this pre-ordering, like in the Starbucks app, which is very common sense, and where now it's starting in food and beverage. But you can go everywhere then, like Amazon did, in a general retail store, right? You go in, yes, you have your mobile phone just as device, and you walk out. You don't need to go to physical stopping point, either person cashier or self-service terminal to make a transaction, right? So WoraPay, very high level, builds technology to connect these two, not to make amazing payments. We don't care, we can use any payment method, card, SEPA, whatever, but we create infrastructure for retailer to provide these new types of experiences to their customers so they can use their mobile to check out, but without touching any device. Of course, loyalty is a big thing, and data is the king, and that everything is built in. But we believe, again, we need to talk about the customer value here, which is, I don't want to wait to pay, I don't want to stand in a queue. And after that, only all the data points and loyalty can be built in. Other thing that, yeah, we talk about loyalty, retailers first need to talk about loyalty, and only if we give loyalty points, people will come and touch their phone instead of that contactless card. So just a different. So in numbers, if you look, for example, compare Starbucks, 7% of their global sales, they say, go on mobile, order and pay. Next slide, I'll show you data from ours. And they say that quite soon it will be in 38 billion industry. So this is growing. People want to make the transactions from their pocket, not when they are in the retail shop, but when they're approaching or differently, not touching any machine. This is data for one of our customer. If you look, I don't know if you can see the details, but at the beginning of, at the end of 2015, the transactions were 15% on cards and 75% on cash. Then a year ago, we introduced the app. Of course, card transactions are growing, but in December last year, the 11% of transactions were going through the app for on pre-ordering. So it's a kind of catering company that runs cafeterias, so 11% of their customers are using app for pre-ordering, not going to the queue, to the till at all. That shows that this is real attraction and it's, customers want the service. But why retailers do it? Because first, of course, it's customer satisfaction. I'm very happy when I can get out my phone, when I get out of the tube, I press 2 buttons, my order for latte is gone, I go, pick it, and that's it. I don't need to wait. If I'm running late for the meeting, if I don't want to spend the time, it's fine. But they saw increase in revenue, and that in numbers was 5% for them. But then again, we can thinking, are these technologies to increase the revenue or actually their cost line, and then we're discussing who pays what, right? And if you look from the numbers, they already saved more than 3,000 man work days. That's just a fun fact, right? Again, divide by 200, it's 15 people working for Lloyds we already saved, so we can charge Lloyds for that, right? What we believe a lot, we don't want to build our brand, we want to be technology player, and that's probably what the discussion is about, how to make it with partners, because we're just enabler to connect existing technologies. One of the partners is MasterCard. Here they are, but they were working with a product MasterPass. Someone of you maybe heard about it. The goal of MasterPass, of course, is to be one-click payment. You once register, and then you can use it everywhere. It fits very nice with our strategies, so we're partnering here and helping both we, MasterCard, us to have this joint solution. We're driving quite a lot number of the MasterPass transactions compared to anyone. But most importantly, we were working with Lloyds Banking Group, which is the second biggest bank in UK. This is the CardNet department, which is a card acquiring department website, where if you go to payment solutions, you will see mobile app solution site, which actually is our technology. So we partnered with them because they saw what acquiring banks talk today to their customers. Every year. What customers ask? Will you decrease my acquiring fees? Right, that's the discussion they have. Now, they look for solutions, what they come back to their business customers, what additional added value services they can offer. And now they come back and say, if you, for example, in this case, a coffee shop, you can launch Starbucks-like experience as a service tomorrow with everything integrated, banking, app, everything. You don't need to do any more magic, right? So, and we are looking for other partners in other European countries now to go the same route. Those who already have a relationship with businesses that, for example, do card acquiring, but don't want just to talk about card acquiring, want to talk about other additional services that can be brought as a package to their customers. Again, I can talk about this partnership for years. It's 2.5 years road with lots of ups and downs, but it's really interesting to see one of the biggest bank using your technology and seeing that as a benefit. So that's where I want to end. Let's stop talking too much, at least a bit about payments as per se, right? I would encourage you always to think, especially if you're talking with retailers, what new type of retail experiences they want to bring. Sometimes it will be very hard. Try to talk to taxi owner about totally new experience, right? They say, should I install that card machine in my taxi or shouldn't I install, right? Well, there is new business model coming in. So sure, some retailers will think that I don't want to change my business model, as in your picture, but probably if you want to stay in the game, you need to start thinking how I can even change my business models. So by using new technologies, I can provide new experiences where payment will be just hidden part. And yeah, this is just a few examples we talked that are already there. And we are working with those retailers that are looking to innovate in these areas and try out and to see how new business models can be done. For example, now we're working with the Arsenal Football Club in London, probably some of you know it, how they can improve the experience of their VIP lodges using the same, so people wouldn't need to go to the queue during football match for their beer or food, right? So thank you. This is my last slide. I'll leave you with Tony Nash, who is Managing Director of Lloyd's Banking Group Carnet quote, Tony says that not only this is a new technology helping Britons to save time, it's also helping businesses by increasing the number of customers they can serve. So thanks, and I'm looking forward to joining the panel.
Thank you, Vaidas. Thank you so much.